ACC Dual Championship on the line this weekend. Doesn't get much better. NC State, Virginia Tech. We're talking that and a whole lot more on this new episode of the Pack Mentality Pop-Ins podcast, presented by the Wolfpack Wrestling Club. Brian Reinhardt, I'm your host. And who else would we have but the head coach of the Wolfpack, Pat Popolizio?
Good afternoon, Brian. It was great to see you on a Wednesday.
Appreciate that, Pat. Yeah. Oh, it's a tremendous day.
Yep.
I mean, it's a tremendous week of wrestling here.
It is. It's going to be a good one.
Getting excited. I think first, though, before we jump into duels, we got to talk about you're going to have a change in your coaching staff. Associate head coach Adam Hall. I feel like I know he's been here 9 years, but I feel like he has been here an awful long time. He's finally getting his well-deserved opportunity. He's going to be moving on. He gets that D1 head coaching job going out to Utah Valley. Very good gig for him. I'm excited for him. Adam, even when he's not even awake, he's breathing, talking wrestling. The guy lives for it. But just kind of, I know it's going to be hard for you, but what has he done for the program and for you personally over the years?
Yeah, he's been a rock star. When you look across the country at, assistant coaches who have put their time in and have elevated a program, there's no question that he's done that here at NC State. And just the passion, intensity, the knowledge. I mean, he's got it all. He checks all the boxes of what, one, a great assistant coach was, and two, what a great head coach is going to be. He is ready. He is experienced, and that's what you want. Your opportunity has come, and you got to seize the moment. And sounds like it's a great situation over there for him, and he's going to do some big things. And I think that program is going to get elevated in just a couple of years with his work ethic. So, yeah, he's going to be missed, and it's nothing new to us. We always have people that get promoted and move on, and we'll fill that gap. It'll be different, but I feel really good on some of the people that we're talking to right now that are going to be, it'll be different for sure. Mm-hmm. But it's always a good opportunity to get some new knowledge and new experiences, and I think it'd be good for us as well. But yeah, it's going to be missed. It's not going to be the same. I'm going to lose my workout partner on the road because Adam likes to work out more than I do. So that's.
I was going to say, I had to check you right there because you do not work out as much as Adam does.
I don't, but it was good to have someone you knew you could find a gym.
Okay.
I would always wait the last 15 minutes for him in the parking lot. So.
All right.
And you were always out there 30 minutes before. So.
Absolutely. I was going to say, could we please do a Jacob's Ladder challenge before he leaves?
We got to do something, but no, it's like an unfair advantage. The guy's in better shape than everyone on the team.
He is, man. I know you're a big social guy, so you got to love it. You're probably fielding calls left and right. As a head coach, I know you never want to replace somebody, but people move on. I mean, that's the reason why they come here sometimes. But you got to be looking forward to talking some new people, thinking what's best for the program moving forward.
Yeah, and that's my job, is to evaluate where we're at and what our needs are. And we're in a good spot, and I think people have taken notice that, we've put out a lot of guys across the country, whether it's assistant coaches or, you look at the coaches that have been here that are now head coaches. So I think it's a good place to be, to continue to learn, evolve, and make that next jump in their career. But yeah, it won't be the last time we get someone that's here that moves on to be a head coach, or even guys that we have right now that are going to get promoted and have other positions. And I think that's what makes a good organization, is you always have people looking to become better in their personal careers and professional careers. And I think it's happening here.
You got to be proud as a head coach too. I mean, you're going to have 4 former assistants now, D1 coaches. I'm not even going to try to pronounce the guy's name at Hofstra, but he's a good guy. Yeah, I like him. I met him when we went up there. He was a great guy. Beasley's up at Mason. You have Obi at North Dakota State. Now Adam over at Utah Valley. As a head coach, you want these guys to help your program, but you're also responsible for helping these guys elevate their roles.
Yeah, and these guys all worked and put the time in here. And when you do that, people take notice. And again, it's not one person on staff that's doing everything, and everyone's working together, but you know the role and you know the goal for these guys when they're here. So it's not a surprise. we knew it was coming in due time that Adam was going to get his opportunity. He got some good experience at some other interviews, and that's part of the professional career. You go through some growing pains of jobs that you want but you don't get, and then your opportunity comes and he sees it, and it's a perfect fit for him, and he's going to do wonderful things. But yeah, he'd definitely be missed. And the great thing is he still gets a month to spend with us. So, a lot of times someone gets a job and basically the next day, they're moving on. And the timing of this is actually really good. We got a month to basically enjoy his time and finish out the season, and then start fresh with a new candidate.
That's enough sucking up to Adam. He's leaving, so but no, I think
there's I knew your brutal fairness. I like it, right to the point.
Yeah, I'm really happy for Adam. I mean, I will text him random questions. The guy knows everything wrestling, so he's been one of my go-to sources. So very happy for him. I know he's wanted this opportunity, and it's a great chance for him. Moving on, wrestling on the mat. Friday night, NC State, Virginia Tech, and Rock Harrison gave me a shout out to he's my guy. But I looked up this stat: NC State, Virginia Tech, both 4-0 in the conference, and very similar resumes this year. NC State outscored their ACC foes 138-24, Virginia Tech 131-24. These two programs have been the top of the ACC, and there's nothing better than when it comes down to that final weekend to determine this champion here in the regular season.
No doubt about it. And that's the old saying, iron sharpens iron. And that's exactly what we're going to get Friday. The history of these duels have been unbelievable, intense, down to the wire most of the times, and great atmosphere. Whether we're on the road there, their fans are passionate and make for a good setting. And I know ours always return the favor when they come down here and get involved. So that's good. This is great for college wrestling. And at the end of the day, it's going to elevate both programs. Both teams are going to get better when you go into these environments, and you have to wrestle tough kids across the board. I think there's every guy and every team's got someone that's going to be ranked. So these matches are fun, intense. And if you're a fan, this is what college wrestling is about.
Somehow Virginia Tech student section is going to get behind you again. They're going to be seated right behind your bench. So
it doesn't faze me one bit. I'm so into the matches, you can't really hear anything anyway. So
I boo you all the time. It doesn't even affect you anymore. That's great.
Love it.
Senior day.
That's better than being in an arena where you can hear people talking. So I'd rather have people yelling crazy things at us and getting us ready for NCAAs than anything.
There was one duel, I'm not going to mention where it was, but very loud on the broadcast, you could hear one fan counting out the shots taken compared to his opponent. And I don't know, it cracked me up. But yes, it was a little quiet in that arena one day. But senior day, you guys, this is your last duel of the year honoring your seniors. You guys are going to honor 4 guys as far as I know right now. Couple stars, Trent Hidley, Alex Faison, and a couple other guys, Jarrett Trombley, who's been a starter ACC champion, and another guy that's been in your room for 4 years, Dylan Reinhardt. Great last name. He just spells his name wrong, but great last name. But obviously, senior day is emotional, and a lot of these guys have been with you for 4 or 5. I think Trent's been with you for about 12 years. What does it?
Trombley's on 10.
Trombley's up there too. Somehow he graduated medical school before he left the NC State wrestling program. But just you don't have to touch on these guys individually, but as a senior class, what has all these guys done for you?
Yeah, they've been great across the board. The leadership, what in the room, outside the room, what they've done for the community, what they've done for this program. I think it speaks volumes to, one, you can look at their academic resume. These guys were rock stars in the classroom, and they're just role model citizens for this university. So they represented NC State in first class. And, you throw their wrestling accomplishments in on there too. All of them, 3 of them have all qualified for the NCAA tournament. And obviously Trent, has really elevated our program on the athletic side of things on top of his academic resume. So I think he's branded himself as one of the best in program history with the way that he's gone about his business, and fans have taken a liking to him. And when he's out there competing, he pours his heart and soul into this program. And I think that's just the way he's wired. But yeah, those guys are all going to be missed. They got good personalities. They've done everything that we've ever asked them to do as far as student athlete goes, and just excited to see the next month play out for a couple of these guys.
Senior day, can you please get Coach Kevin to wear a tie? There's a lot of, I don't know if you see it. There's a lot.
We're going to start a GoFundMe account for Kevin.
And
we're going to upgrade some of his dress clothes.
There's a lot of talk on Twitter every duel about Kevin's attire for these duels. I think it's great. The fans
we started a GoFundMe for an iron. Now it's a tie, so we'll get him hooked up.
Yeah, he just needs a tie. I don't know. I just want to see the guy in a tie. Try to help him out. But so looking ahead to the Virginia Tech duel, not sure how many matches we'll touch on here, but one that stands out, 149. You have number 3 Jackson Arrington, number 2 Caleb Henson. These two have been fantastic this year. Combined 39-2 record. Neither has lost since Vegas. This is a rivalry. They're both sophomores. They're going to face off so much more. But this is a big duel. I mean, last match of the season for these two heading into the March, and they both want to win. Henson got 2 wins over Arrington last year, but Arrington's really stepped it up this year, kind of made that sophomore jump. Just talk about the battle at 149.
Yeah, I mean, you got two, obviously, the best guys in the country right now, and both guys have improved from last year, and I think that's what makes this a great matchup, is you got two guys that are super competitive and very high skilled, very conditioned. They check all the boxes for great wrestling. And yeah, it's one that we got to show up and compete. And, you know, losing last 2 matches to him, I know that's motivated Jackson to continue to get better. He's a competitor, but on the flip side, so are they. And that's what you want, you know, and that's what the fans want. They want to see 2 of the best guys wrestle, and especially in a tight dual meet like this. I mean, you can't ask for anything more.
184, battle of redshirt freshmen. These guys both are the reigning co-ACC wrestlers of the week.
Sets up for a good story.
I was going to say, if someone's writing a preview for this, I'm sure they mentioned that. So, yep. I mean, you should see how many stats I have come up. Hey, go to Rockfin. People, please help us. Great article.
Rockfin 2 for you.
Yeah, we try. We try to put as much stuff on Rockfin as we can. Rockfin.
I put a plug in for you.
Always appreciate that. But Fishback Stewart, they were 2 of the top recruits in their class. Fishback's schedule just incredible. Stewart coming off a great win over Heller of Pitt. I'm assuming that Stewart's their starter at 184 now, but this is just going to be another matchup. These guys are going to face each other for years, but this could swing some big momentum in this duel.
Yeah, and it is. It's going to be another. I think you got 2 guys that are getting hot at the right time. And, you know, our schedule, speaking on our side, our schedule was very challenging. And we were in every match, you know, even though we didn't win every match, he was in every match. And you're going to get that out of a young group. And I think that's what you're seeing between the 2 of them as they both progress through the season. They're getting really good and getting really good experience. And this is going to be a fun match for both those guys, as they're young but talented freshmen. And yeah, it's gonna, again, these tight dual meets, all these matches they're gonna matter.
I'm actually skipping around. I'm going down to 125. Usually, I know you like to start there, but I want to throw you for a loop.
I'm ready for them all.
Number 3, Cooper Flynn. He was supposed to redshirt this year for Virginia Tech, but got thrown into that lineup. And you guys have Camacho there, coming off a very good win over Unger. You wanted to see a refocused Camacho over the last couple of weeks. He's had some good wins, and these guys have been in both programs for 3-4 years, but they've never faced each other. And 125, just so important, especially for NC State, because of the points you guys get at 125. But Camacho Flynn, this is a huge bout.
Yeah, and it is. I think both programs have pretty good depth at 25. When we have Trombley too, and yeah, they've wrestled a little bit in the off season, some freestyle matches, and they're both. I think the one time we had it was a pretty competitive match. So it'll be interesting now wrestling on folk style, and I like where Camacho's at. You know, we took a little time to regroup and get our mind shifted back to where we know he's capable of doing, and that's what we saw last week. Actually, last 2 weeks, wrestling in Virginia, scoring a lot of points, what Camacho's capable of doing, and then had a tough, gritty match last Friday and looked really good in getting that win. So momentum is good for Camacho right now, and this is a great big opportunity to wrestle one of the best kids in the country. And we got to show up and be ready to compete.
I joke that opposing fans think Trent Hiley has been here for 8 years. Sam Latona, he's been at Virginia Tech, I think, since the turn of the century. Very solid wrestler. I think he probably gets up for NC State matches more than anybody on the Hokies roster. But Kai Arini, Sam Latona faced 3 times last year, just some battles, 1 takedown each time, very close. We haven't talked about Kai too much lately, but he's just been consistent going out there, getting bonus points, but a huge opportunity against Latona.
Yeah, and another great, kid has been around and has had a great college career, and he's capable of beating anyone in the country. And I like the momentum Kai has going right now. I think as we get towards the end of the year, you see a much more focused Kai, and that's what we expect from him, is go out and compete at his best this Friday. But it's always a fun match when those two wrestle. They lay it on the line, and both guys have a ton of pride, and you can see it as they represent their programs and compete at the highest level. But I think that's going to be an action-packed match. Both those guys have a good style, and there's going to be some points on the board, that's for sure.
What do you guys as a team have to do to secure the win over Virginia Tech this weekend?
Got to show up. I think that's the biggest thing. And if you look at the matches, the dual meets that we've been able to win against some of the tougher teams, our guys showed up and competed. And I don't think it's anything different. When we had some of those losses in the middle of the year, we didn't go out and compete. It's not that we weren't wrestling hard. We just didn't compete. And I think that's the biggest thing now, is what we've been able to do last couple of weeks, is actually go out, compete, and lay it on the line. And, let's see where things fly at the end of 7 minutes. And I know a lot of our guys know how to wrestle, and they're really good at wrestling. And that's why we just got to make sure that we go out, attack, and score points. Because I think when we do that, we put ourselves in a really good position against good teams. It's one thing to do it against a team that you're better than, or an opponent. But now when you got even matchups like we're going to see on Friday night, you got to do the same thing. You got to wrestle with confidence and let things fly. And we'll take our chances there. And that's the only thing you can ask for at this point, is 7 minutes are up. Did you wrestle your best and put it on the line, or were you hesitant, cautious, and not giving yourself the right opportunities?
Pat, this is a fun episode. We killed Coach Hall. We killed Coach Kevin. I mean, you're just on fire today.
You want to throw anyone else under the bus on this staff? You want to get on top of it too?
No, I like it. See, we're actually recording this on Wednesday. Normally we do Tuesdays, but you had to have an extra day to prepare. So this turned out to be a great episode. But I mean, NC State, Virginia Tech, it's not just ACC fans that are looking forward to this. This is the duel a lot of people look forward to. And thankfully, it's the last duel of the season, where I believe it should be every year. So Reynolds Coliseum, I have a feeling it's going to be kind of crowded, kind of loud.
I have a feeling it's going to be completely sold out.
That is great. Yeah. Please reserve me a ticket, please. So
we'll see how
the funny thing, I get in the building, but no one gives me a
parking pass too. You want a parking pass too?
No, because I know what parking lot to park in. I know you and Adam park in it, so it's a secret lot that no one knows, that you get in and get out really quick. So
you're gonna get people messaging you, asking you where that is.
Secrets, trade secrets here.
Secrets.
Yeah, but Pat, appreciate you catching us up. You guys have got to be excited. Is there just a little bit of extra energy this week in the practice room?
It's focus. We know what's at stake. Both programs bring their A game for this dual meet, so it's what makes it a great dual meet. Guys show up, they compete at their best, and it's great competition.
NC State, Virginia Tech, Friday night, Reynolds Coliseum. Wolfpack fans, let's pack Reynolds. Let's get everybody there. If you can't make it to Reynolds, it's going to be on ACC Network Extra. I hope everybody tunes in. And Pat, thanks for catching us up. We're getting here towards March. There's not too much wrestling left, but it's the biggest events of the year.
Dual weekend of the season, Brian. I know you're gonna be glued to the TV all weekend watching these final duels.
I will be. Well, I'll be in person on Friday probably, but then after that, absolutely.
Actually, tonight there's a couple duels too.
Oh, are there? Oh, see, I didn't even know that. I didn't see the deep. Okay.
Text me. You'll find out.
I do text you all the time. I say, what are you doing? I said, can you support me and help me out doing something? And you're like, no, I'm watching duels. So
No, that's true then.
That's how it goes. Life of the coach. But want to thank everybody for listening today. It's your Pack Mentality Poppins podcast covering all things NC State wrestling. Until next time, go Pack.